Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Big changes involving the COVID-19 vaccine starting on Monday. What does it mean for you and also for the senior in your life? I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank, tonight.
He was the FBI's man on the inside. Coming up, the words from the confidential informant inside the group that allegedly plotted to plan to kidnap and kill Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
But we're going to begin with Mayor Duggan drawing the attention of the White House for his comments about the effectiveness of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. He is now changing his tone and changing course.
Twice this week at briefings, Mayor Duggan said he wanted Detroiters to only get the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines since they were the most effective.
The White House now calling those comments a misunderstanding, but it comes after the city declined 6,200 doses of the J&J vaccine. Start things off here at 5 with Mara McDonald. The mayor now backtracking on those comments. Mara.
Well, Devin, here's the situation as it stands right now. The city of Detroit says it is going to accept J&J vaccines, and there has been an evolution in thoughts and comments out of the mayor over the last 3 days. Let me show you.
Johnson & Johnson is a very good vaccine. Moderna and Pfizer are the best. And I am going to do everything I can to make sure the residents of the city of Detroit get the best.
That was Mayor Duggan on Wednesday explaining why the city of Detroit turned away 6,200 Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Today, an abrupt about-face, coincidentally or not, after his remarks caught the attention of the White House. This is Biden's director of COVID-19 response, Andy Slavitt, today.
The mayor's office has indicated after we talked to them that that was a misunderstanding. That was not the intent of those remarks.
Now the city of Detroit has sent out a statement clarifying the position on the J&J vaccine, which in part reads, "The only reason we chose not to accept the first shipment of J&J was that we had enough capacity with Moderna and Pfizer to handle the 29,000 first and second dose appointments scheduled for the coming week, which already put us very close to our capacity at our current locations." Back here live, that statement goes on to say that the city will accept J&J vaccines starting next week and will have a plan to distribute them shortly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Hey, Mara. Now, our other top story at this hour, one step closer to normal as Michigan restaurants can now serve at 50% capacity.
And while some spots welcome the news, others say it just isn't worth it. Let's get to Rod Maloney. Rod, for these owners, it really depends on so many different factors.
Well, Kimberly, they're dealing with so much. I mean, getting back open is great news for them, and so much has changed in a year, right? We're at the Red Coat Tavern here in West Bloomfield. A year ago today, they didn't have a carryout business. Now that's carrying the business, but getting to 100%, not so easy. The Red Coat Tavern's burgers are always in high demand.
So I got a regular fry and an onion ring for you.
And they're glad to see this 50% opening.
It's certainly better than 25%, so that we welcome that, and we're so happy to see our customers.
The bar is flowing, table service bustling, and the takeout zips nonstop from the front door. It's all good. But as things stand, this is about all the Red Coat and many other restaurants can handle right now. They say if the governor somehow decided to allow 100% capacity in the next week or so,
it would be difficult. We need everything from cooks, line cooks, bartenders, hosts, servers. We really need, quite a few more employees. We lost quite a few people who changed jobs, left the state.
Just down the road in Farmington, Tomatoes of Pizza owner Mike Weinstein continues making his famous New Haven pies for takeout only.
Might be a little bit less than overall, but it's good enough.
He's decided the governor's 50% is still too risky. He's not opening for sit-down dining just yet.
It didn't matter to me. I think I'm staying closed until we're really taking these things off and eating again.
So plastic covers tables and salad buffets that would otherwise be full.
We would be packed right now at this moment in the dining room. We'd have like a little line, and now this is sad. I can't wait to open up. I think it's going to be amazing.
And so, well, here they're saying, look, if you're out of work and you want a job, they're willing to train. They want people, they need people because they know that 100% is coming before too long. They've got to have help. And so they're looking for that. And you can talk to most restaurants, and that's pretty much what they'll tell you. Back to you.
Yeah, so Rod, what are you hearing about profitability for these businesses.
Well,
Not
you know,
good?
Yeah, therein lies the problem here, because they're skating by a lot of these restaurants. And in fact, most restaurants that you see are closed for good. Well, that's been the problem. 50% is a help, but that still is pretty much just break even. Restaurants aren't meant to operate at 50%.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. So hard. Difficult indeed. Rod, thank you.
Let's take a look at the coronavirus numbers released for today. 1,486 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed over the past 24 hours in Michigan. Along with that, the state reporting 10 more deaths over the same time period.
And when it comes to the vaccine, a little more than 3 million doses have been delivered here to Michigan, with 2.4 million of those doses going into arms. Now to day 3 of the hearing for the 3 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer.
For the first time, we're hearing from the FBI informant who was inside the group, and he went into great detail about what happened and when. Let's go to Grant Herms live tonight. A lot of things we had not heard before today. Grant?
Well, this was, like you said, the first time we've had a detailed look from the inside of that alleged plot to kidnap and kill the governor, from the planning to the military training to even what they were saying about the governor, and now expanding what we're learning to other Michigan officials.
For the first time in court, the FBI's man inside taking the stand, known only as Dan, the court not allowing video of him to be shared for his safety and the safety of his family. Dan gave detailed accounts of the planning of the alleged plot to kidnap and kill the governor and other politicians, telling the court one of the men working with the group wanted to tie up the governor and put her on display.
He wanted to hog tie her on a table and kind of like a DEA presentation.
Dan said the group spent hours staking out the governor's vacation home and worked with groups in Ohio and Wisconsin to help with their plot.
So we eventually funneled down that Michigan would be the capital of Michigan would be the target. So the train that was going, that started conducting on into Sunday was pertaining to Michigan.
That target meant to kick off Boogaloo, a reference to a second civil war. Those who follow those beliefs wearing Hawaiian shirts to signal their support. There was also discussion of installing militia members as the new government. One of the men, a supposed leader of the Wolverine Watchmen, claiming he would be targeting the state's attorney general and lieutenant governor.
He was talking about the lieutenant governor and Dana Nessel, and stating that he had a Hawaiian shirt on in his vehicle, that he was in Lansing, had his stuff with him, and that he would go and he would throw this Hawaiian shirt on and go on the Capitol right there.
Another big piece from that testimony today, the pictures and the stakeout around the governor's vacation home. The informant testifying that they used those photos to plan an armed raid to allegedly kill the governor's security detail, likely her husband. And when it came to her children, they said that would have been a call they would have made during that supposed armed raid. Back to you.
It's extraordinary stuff, Grant. What is the defense saying about it?
They essentially said today what they were saying yesterday, that the members of this militia group wouldn't have been involved in any of this. The training that they said was led by this informant, or the connection to those other groups from Wisconsin and Ohio, had it not been for the FBI stepping in.
All right, Grant.
The Detroit Pistons and Blake Griffin are finalizing a buyout of his contract. Both sides agreed last month that Griffin would sit out while the team and his reps worked on a trade or buyout. In 2019, his first full season, Griffin averaged 25 points, made the All-Star team, and led the team to the playoffs. But injuries forced Griffin to miss parts of the last 2 seasons. Griffin can sign with any team he wants after he clears waivers. Bernie will have more on potential landing spots for Blake Griffin coming up later in sports.
The wait for a COVID relief check could soon be coming to an end. President Biden's rescue plan coming closer to a vote after senators spent a day debating the bill. Susan McGinnis following it on Capitol Hill. Susan.
Devin, the near $2 trillion American Rescue Package is on its way to being passed, but not before an agonizing process in the Senate.
President Biden with a final push for his sweeping COVID relief bill.
People need the help now.
Senators spending the day debating and voting on amendments to the bill, which would include $1,400 direct payments to Americans, funding for vaccines and to reopen schools, and jobless benefits lowered to $300 per week.
Clerk will call the roll.
Today's debate falling along party lines, Republicans calling the bill too costly, arguing trillions in relief already approved has gone unspent, and that much of the bill has nothing to do with coronavirus.
This is an opportunity to spend money on things not related to COVID because they have the power to do so.
Democrats calling their conservative colleagues short-sighted about the real needs of Americans.
You're struggling to put food on the table for your kids. That $5,600 for a family of 4 is life and death. It is dignity or desperation.
President Biden focused on reversing the economic effects of the pandemic.
The rescue plan is absolutely essential for turning this around.
Just as new numbers from the job front show hiring up last month, the jobless rate down, proving Republicans say the economy needs no boost.
Our country is already set for a roaring recovery.
Democrats argue it doesn't go far enough and are ready to pass the bill without Republican help if necessary.
Should all Republicans vote against the bill as expected, Vice President Harris would come in to be the tie-breaking vote to pass the bill. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
Thank you, Susan. Well, we've made it to Friday. Let's check in with Andrew.
We certainly have, and we've got loads of sunshine that are out there. We have sunshine coming back for this weekend. There's a seasonable chill in the air. How chilly will it be Saturday and Sunday? And we've got to warm up next week. You're going to love the 7-day forecast. I've got it for you next.
A lot of work happening inside of this building. You might recognize it. It's the old Sears Automotive inside of Lakeside Mall. So what are they doing, and what does this have to do with COVID? A new concern regarding the COVID-19 vaccine. Will there be enough to go around? A big change gets underway on Monday. I will tell you how it could affect you and your family. Help Me Hank, coming up.